In this session, we'll be dealing with arithmetic reasoning. So as you all know, arithmetic reasoning is one of the 10 papers, is one of the 10 subjects included in the paper 1 of UGC NET. Inside arithmetic reasoning, when we go inside arithmetic reasoning, we can find 7 or 8 sections that we are dealing in arithmetic reasoning. All these sections are related to your reasoning skills, your common sense, your intellect. These are not like mathematical problems. These are not like algebra or linear equation or anything like that. These are all related to your common sense and your basic reasoning skills. How you will get into an answer, how you will come up with an answer for the given question. So inside arithmetic reasoning, we have 7 or 8 sections. We have number series, we have letter series, we have codings, classifications, age difference, blood relation, direction sense, and all the other mathematical questions like fractions, time and distance, speed, distance and time, percentages, profit and loss, etc. So we have basically divided into 8 sections. We have the number series, letter series, coding, classification, blood relation, direction sense, age difference, and the mathematical questions. So first, let's start with number series. What is number series? We all know what number series is. Maybe some of us don't know that it is a number series, but we all know, in general, we all know what a number series is. For example, let me give you an example. We say 1, 2, 3, 4 dash. Everyone who's hearing me, everyone who's seeing me will definitely say the answer is 5. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because there is a pattern there, there is a series forming there. So that is number series. Number series means finding, and it's any series where we find the unknown number based on the relation between the known numbers. We'll get some numbers, we'll get some known numbers like 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are all known numbers, these are all given numbers, and there will be a dash. So there is an unknown number. So we find the unknown number based on the relationship between the known numbers. We have many series, many patterns like that. For example, let me give you another example. 2, 4, 6, 8. The next number will be 10. So the first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second one is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So these are two different types of patterns. The first one we call it as a plus 1 pattern. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. We call it a plus 1 series. The next one is plus 2 series. 2, 4, 6, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. So that is a plus 2 series. So in number series, what we learn is, or what we study is, what all different types of patterns that are expected to be asked in the question paper. We have 10 or 12 different types of patterns. Some are very easy, some you can get the answer within a very short amount of time. Some you have to, some problems we have to work it out. So there are 10 or 12 different types of patterns that we study in the number series. We'll have a look one by one. So we're starting with number series. On your screen you can see some guidelines. You can see 12 guidelines. That means what I said earlier, you have 12 different types of patterns that are expected to come in the question paper. You have your plus 1 series, your plus 2 series, minus 1, minus 2, squares, cubes, prime numbers, composite numbers, alternate numbers, and then a compound compound relationships, or a mixed relationships. Okay, so we'll start with each one by one. So as I said, the first 4 or first 5 of them are very simple, and as you go forward we'll deal with some complex questions, but in general everything is very simple. The first one is plus 1 series. So you get a question like this, you get 17, 18, 19, 20 dash. So obviously we know the answer is 21. You get 17 plus 1 is 18, 18 plus 1 19, 19 plus 1 20. So 20 plus 1, the answer will be 21. Similarly, when you get another question, as I said earlier, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104 will be the answer. If there is a dash after 103, 104 will be the answer. So that is a plus 1 series. So similarly, you might have gotten the idea, you might have got the idea behind this. So if it's a plus 2 series, you get something like 8, 10, 12, and then if there is a dash, you get the answer is 14. So if there is a plus 3 series, you get 19, 22, 25 dash. So 19 plus 3 22, 22 plus 3 25, 25 plus 3 28. So 28 plus 3 you get the answer as 31. So all these types of, if you have got a basic idea about that, you can answer any of the questions that we are dealing with, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, maybe +10, +15. So you get a basic idea, so you will be able to deal with all such questions. We have some other examples. For example, look at your screen. We have 10, 12, 16, 22 dash. So this is not a +1, +1, +1 series. This is neither a +2, +2 series. If you look at the difference between the numbers, you have 10 plus 2, you get 12, 12 plus 4, 16, 16 plus 2, 16 plus 6, we get 22. So you can see another type of series forming there, +2, +4, +6. So the next one will be +8. So you get 22 plus 8, the answer will be 30. So this is a mix of the +1, +2 series. Next one, for example, take an example, 5, 15, 35, 65, 105 dash. So when you see the difference between the numbers, you get 5 plus 10 is 15, 15 plus 20 is 35, 35 plus 30 is 65, 65 plus 40 is 105. So you get +10, +20, +30, +40. So the next difference will be +50. So 105 plus 50 will be 155. So this is the basic idea of a number series. You find the difference, you get any number series, you get any series that we get a number series type of question. The first thing that you have to do is to find the relationship between the numbers. You find the relationship between the first two numbers. In the previous example, we have 5, 15, 35, 65 and 105. Then we have a dash. So you get the result, or you get the difference between the first two numbers, 5 and 15. The difference will be 10. Then you find the difference between the second and the third number, 15 and 35. The difference is 20. So you find out the difference between the first two numbers, the next two numbers, the next two numbers, the next two numbers, and it goes on. Okay, so it goes on and it goes on, and you find the difference between the known numbers, and then in the end you will get the unknown number. So you get any number series, the first thing you have to check is the difference between the numbers. There are other number series questions that are not based on differences, but the basic idea is to find the difference, and if there is any other patterns or other series, we'll tell you about it. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is to find the difference between the numbers. So these are all +1, +2, +3 series that we talked about. Similarly, we get a -1, -2, -3 type of series. For example, you can look on your screen. You have 25, 24, 23, 22 dash. The answer will obviously be 21. That is a -1 series. Then next one, 99, 97, 95 dash. The answer is 93. That is a -2 series. 99 minus 2 becomes 97. 97 minus 2 becomes 95. So 95 minus 2 becomes 93. You get a -2 series. So similarly, as I said before, there will be a combination, a mix of these. You can get the example 105, 104, 101, 96, 89 dash. So 105 minus 1 becomes 104. As I said above, you get any question, you find the difference. So 105 and 104 you get -1, 104 and 101 you get -3, 101 and 96 you get -5, 96, 89 you get -7. So you can see a series forming, -1, -3, -5, -7. So the next series will be -9. So 89 minus 9 you get 80. So that is how you come up with the answers. You get the known numbers, you get the given numbers, you find the difference between them, and then you will come up with the unknown number, or you will come up with the answer. The next question, 6, 1, -3, -6, dash, -9. You will get questions like these also. The dash need not necessarily be at the end. You can get a middle number which is missing. So you find the difference. 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 minus 4 is 3, 1 minus 4 is -3, -3 minus 3 gives you -6. So -5, -4, -3. So the next series will be -2. So -6, -2 gives you -8 is the answer. So these are all the simple types of difference questions. You find the difference between the numbers, you will get the answer. in net questions, in UGC net questions, in UGC JRF questions, most of the questions you get based on number series will be of this type, the difference type. You find out the difference between the numbers, you get the answer. It might not be that simple, but still most of the questions, most of the number series questions that you get the questions based on differences. Now there are some other questions which are not based on differences. You get squares, you get cubes. So the first one, the +1, +2, -1, -2, +3, +4, +5, all those difference questions, we call it as a level 1 question because those are the simplest questions. So coming on to level 2 questions, we have the squares and the cubes. These even the squares and the cubes are actually very easy, but the thing is that you have to identify that it is a square or these are the cubes of some numbers. For example, you get a question 1, 4, 9, 16. 1, 4, 9, 16 dash. So this question you can approach it at two different angles. The first thing, as I said, you get any question based on number series. The first thing you have to do is find the difference. So in this question 1, 4, 9, 16, if you go and find out the difference between the numbers, you will get a series 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16, so 16 plus 9 you will get the series, the answer will be 25. So that is the answer that you will get if you approach it from a level 1 type of question. But as I said, if you approach it at a level 2 type of question, a little more complex type of question, you get that 1 is actually 1 square, 4 is actually 2 square, 9 is 3 square, 16 is 4 square, so the next one will be 5 square, which is 25. You get the same answer by approaching it in two different angles. Okay, same thing, we will talk about cubes. 1, 8, 27 dash. So 1 is actually 1 cube, 8 is 2 cube, 27 is 3 cube, so the next one will be 4 cube, which will be 64. So based on squares and cubes, the first thing you have to do is when you get a number series, the reason why squares and cubes we put it as a level 2 or a little more complex question is because by seeing the question you have to identify whether it is a square or a cube. So 1, 8, 27, if you go and find out the difference, the first thing you have to do is find the difference. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it is a simple question, it doesn't matter if it is a tough question, you go and find the difference. It takes only a little amount of time to find the difference. So if you find out the difference, 1 plus 7 becomes 8, 8 plus 19 becomes 27. So even by looking that, you can see that there is no simple series forming there. There is no series forming. So after finding the difference, you can understand that this is not a question based on difference. So you keep it aside. So the next thing you have to do is find out or identify whether it is a square or a cube. So this one we can know it is a cube. It is 1 square. 1 cube is 1. 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27, and the last one is 4 cube is 64. So you get a number series question. This is why I'm telling this. When you get a number series question, you might not necessarily get the answer first time. It is a hit and miss method. It is a trial and error method. So that is why we are actually following this same series of steps. You get a number series question, the first thing you do is, you get any type of question, the first thing you do is you find out the difference. Okay, so that is the easiest method, and that is the most frequently asked question in UGC net. You find out the difference, and if you can't come up with a pattern, you cannot come up with a series by checking the differences, you keep it aside. Next one, you check whether it is a square or a cube. That is a level 2 question. You check whether it is a square or a cube. We have done some examples. We've talked about some examples of squares and cubes. You can get it in your question paper that we will be providing to you. So you check whether it is a square or a cube. If it is not a square or a cube, you check the differences. You can't come up with a pattern, you keep it aside. You check the squares and the cubes. You can't come up with a pattern, you keep that aside also. The next one you check is for prime and composite numbers. So to get the answer of whether it is a prime or a composite number, you have to understand you have to know what is a prime number, what is a composite number. Many of us know what prime number is, what composite number is. For those who do not know, let me tell you. A prime number is any number who have the factors 1 and that number itself. No other number is a factor of a prime number. I'll give you an example, you will understand it easily. A composite number is any number which have factors other than 1 and that number. I'll give you an example. Take the example of 17. How can you write 17 based on its factors? We can write 1 into 17 is equal to 17. There is no other way that we can write 17, right? But take the example of 15. We can write it as 1 into 15 is 15. 5 into 3 is 15. So in the earlier case, in 17, you get 1 and 17 as the factors of 17. But in the case of 15, we have 1, 15, 5 and 3. All these 4 numbers are the factors of 15. So in the earlier case, in 17 is a prime number because it has the factor only 1 and that number itself, 1 and 17. In the case of 15, we have more factors other than 1 and 15. We have 1, 15, 5 and 3. So let me give you some examples of prime numbers. We have 3, we have 2, we have 5, 7, 9 is actually a composite number because we can write it as 1 into 9 and 3 into 3. So 9 becomes a composite number. And all the other numbers, you get 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. All these are prime numbers because they have the factors only 1 and that number. So composite numbers, we get the factors 1, the number itself and some other numbers. For example, take 6. We can write it as 1 into 6. We can write it as 2 into 3. So we have a lot of factors there. So that is what is called a composite number. So when you get a number series, you check the differences. If you do not get a pattern, keep it aside. You check for the squares and the cubes. If you do not get the answer, keep it aside. The next thing you check is for prime number or a composite number. For example, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 dash. You get a dash. So when you find out the differences, you get 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 11. So we get 1 here, 1 as the difference, then 2, 2, 2, 2. So there is no, actually there is no proper pattern forming. So it is not a difference. So you check the squares and the cubes. These are not squares, these are not cubes. Then you check the prime numbers and the composite numbers. You can see that this is a prime number series. You get 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. The next number will be 13. So 13 is a prime number. Take the next example. 23, 29, 31, 37 dash. If you go and check the difference, the first thing you do is you go and check the difference. You get 23 plus 6 is 29. 29 plus 29 plus 2 is 31. 31 plus 6 is 37. So you actually get a series, but that is not a proper series. So here when you check about a prime number, you get that it is 23 is a prime number. Then the next prime number is 29. The next prime number is 31 and the next prime number is 37. So you get that the next prime number will obviously be 41. So that is how you find out the answers of a number series. You check from the easiest ones. You check the differences, you check the squares, you check the cubes, and if you do not get the answer, the next level is the prime and composite number. The level 3 question is the prime and the composite numbers, and you check for the prime series or a composite series. The next one is a level 4 question, which is the relationship between alternate numbers. That is what you call it, relationship between alternate numbers. So sometimes when you check for a number series, you do not get a pattern in differences. You do not get a pattern in squares or cubes. You do not get a pattern in prime numbers or composite numbers. So the next thing you have to check is the relationship between alternate numbers. We'll go with an example. 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 18 dash. You check the difference first. 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 4 becomes 10, 10 plus 2 becomes 12, 12 plus 3 becomes 15, 15 plus 3 becomes 18. So there are differences, but there is no pattern. Simple. Next, you check the cubes, you check the squares. These are not squares or these are not cubes. You check prime numbers. 5 is a prime number, 6 is a composite number, 10 is a composite number, 12 is a composite number. So there is no pattern there also. The next thing you check is relationship between alternate numbers. In this case, we do not find the difference between the first or the relationship between the first two numbers. We find the relationship between the first number and the third number and the fifth number and the seventh number. Similarly, here we find the difference between the second number and the fourth number and the sixth number and the eighth number. So we find the relationship between the alternate numbers. We skip a number between. Take the previous example, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 18 dash. Here take the alternate numbers, 5, 10, 15 dash. So obviously we can find the answer it as 20. Check the other alternate numbers, 6 into 2, 12, 6 into 3, 18. So if there is a dash there, we get the answer as 6 into 3, 24. 6 into 4 is 24. So here we check the relationship between the alternate numbers. As I said above, we skip a number in between. Take another example, 8, 10, 24, 20, 40, 30, 56, 40 dash. We can see some numbers are increasing, some numbers are decreasing. In between there is a clash of numbers. We can't actually find a difference here. We can't actually find a square, a cube, a prime, a composite, nothing. So as you can see, the numbers are increasing, 8, 10, 24. From there a decreasing number comes, 20. From there 40 comes, from there 30 comes. So there is a change in pattern. So here what we do is we find the relationship between alternate numbers. We skip some numbers in between. Find out the relationship between alternate numbers. We get 8 into 3, 24. 8 into 5, 40. 8 into 7, 56. So these are all factors of 8. 8 into 1, 8 into 3, 8 into 5, 8 into 7. So the next one will be 8 into 9. That is 72. That is the answer. Find the relationship between the other alternate numbers. We get 10, 20, 30, 40. So these are the relationship between alternate numbers. That is the fourth level question. That is a series that you have to check if you do not get any other above mentioned patterns. The last level in the number series, we have 5 levels, 5 toughness level. These are all actually not very tough. You can see from the answers itself, these are not actually very tough. The first level is the difference question. Next one is the squares and the cubes. The third one is the prime number and the composite number. The fourth level is the relationship between alternate numbers, and the last level question is actually a mixture of all the above said questions. We have, I'll give you an example, 2, 14, 18, 46 dash. Try to work it out. 2, 14, 18, 46 dash. Pause the video, try to work it out. You might not get an answer at first, right? So here the answer, I'll give you the answer pattern first. The answer pattern is into 2 plus 10. Check here. 2 into 2 plus 10. Into 2 is 4, plus 10 gets 14. 14 into 2 minus 10. That is another type of a little more difficult question. Okay, this is a little more difficult pattern. 14 into 2 minus 10. So you get into 2 is 28, minus 10 comes 18. Then back to square one. 18 into 2 plus 10. Into 2 is 36, plus 10 you get 46. 46 into 2, 92, minus 10, 82. Check the series. You get into 2 plus 10, into 2 minus 10. Into 2 plus 10, into 2 minus 10. So that is another type of series. This is by far actually the toughest question that you can get. So if you can solve this toughest question, you can solve any other question behind this. Okay, you can solve any other question that we have said above. So this is a pattern into 2 plus 10, into 2 minus 10. Into 2 plus 10, into 2 minus 10. Okay, so this is a type of question that you get in the number series. Check some other examples. Some examples that are easier than the previous one. For example, 1, 3, 7, 15, 31 dash. You check for the differences, you won't get any. Check for the squares and the cubes, no. Prime numbers, composite numbers, no, you won't get that. So the next one you see is 1, 3, 7, 15, 31 dash. The answer will be 1 into 2 plus 1, 3, into 2 plus 1, 7, into 2 plus 1, 15, into 2 plus 1, 31. So you get the series as, you get the answer as the answer pattern is into 2 plus 1. So 1 into 2 plus 1, 3, 3 into 2 6 plus 1 7, 7 into 2 14 plus 1 15, 15 into 2 30 plus 1 31. So 31 into 2 will be you get 62 plus 1, the answer will be 63. So the answer pattern is into 2 plus 1. Another example, 2 6 10 22 42 dash. The answer pattern here is into 2 plus 2 into 2 minus 2, into 2 plus 2 into 2 minus 2. So you get 2 into 2 plus 2 6, 6 into 2 minus 2 you get 10, 10 into 2 plus 2 you get 22, 22 into 2 minus 2 you get 42, and the answer will be 42 into 2 plus 2, you get answer as 86. So the answer pattern is into 2 plus 2 into 2 minus 2, into 2 plus 2 into 2 minus 2. So these are some of the last one. As I said, the combination, the mixture of all the above, the level 5 questions. This question, if you get such type of question, you might take a little more time, because you have to actually try, you have to try and you have to get errors. This is actually a trial and error method. This is actually a hit and miss method. So you have to keep on doing until you find the right pattern. So the thing is, when you get a question, so for example, if you get a question of this series, of the last series, the level 5 series, you have to check the first thing you will do is you will check the differences, you will keep it aside. You will check the prime number, the composite number, the squares, the cubes, everything. You won't get any pattern. You will keep that aside. You will check the relationship between the numbers. You won't get that also. So you keep it aside. And at last you come to the mixture questions, or you come to the combination questions. From here you will have to try the hit and miss method. You have to go on the trial and error method. So the first thing you have to do, or the thing that you have to keep in mind, is you have to be perfect in all until the level 4 question. You have to be perfect in the difference questions. You have to be perfect in the squares and cubes questions. You have to be perfect in the prime and composite questions, and you'll have to be perfect in the relationship questions. So when you get a question, you can check all of them very fast. You can check in a very great speed. You can check all the level 4 questions, and if it is not any of the level 4 questions, you can keep it aside and you can start with the trial and error method of the level 5 question. Keep in mind that when you get a number series, the maximum amount of time you can take is 1 minute. 1 minute even 1 minute is too long for a number series question. But if it is a question of this pattern, if it is a question of as I said, of a combination question pattern, like into 2 plus 2, into 2 plus 10, into 3 plus 1, into 4 plus 1, into 5 plus 5. So if it is a combination type of question, you might want to take a little more time. But the maximum amount of time that you can take for a number series question is 1 minute. If it is a level 1 question or a level 2 question, if it is a prime, composite, square, cubes, the maximum amount is 15 to 30 seconds. But when you get such type of question, the combination question, you'll have to check for the other 4 first, then you have to keep it aside, then you have to start doing the trial and error method. So keep in mind that you have to be perfect with the first 4 level of questions, and then you have to come to the 5th level, that is the combination question, and start doing the trial and error method. You'll get your question paper below. You'll get a link below for the question papers, and then we'll do the question papers one by one. You'll get a much more better idea in the area of number series.